welcome back to Biomes. This week we are talking about the Big Cypress Swamp. The Big Cypress Swamp is a massive swamp area covering quite a lot of Florida, around 2,400 square miles, and a lot of that is taken up by the Big Cypress Nature Preserve. It, along with the rest of the Florida Everglades, are some of the most unique and biodiverse areas in the entirety of the United States. You know we love a good swamp here, and the Big Cypress Swamp is one of the biggest and one of the best. The majority of the plant life is, as you may guess from the name, cypress trees, such as these guys, the bald cypress, which are an incredibly important part of the ecosystem, a keystone species. There's also other types of cypress species, such as the smaller and less common dwarf pond cypress. A lot of the other plant life includes things like palms and mangroves, such as this one, the black mangrove, as well as the red mangrove and the white mangrove. Other plants are things like this one, the cocoa plum, many fern and moss species such as this one, the swamp fern. There's many types of grasses and reeds and rushes like this one, the spike rush. And a good amount of the plant life and some of the most interesting plant lives are epiphytes, such as this one, a type of bromeliad, which grows and spends its entire life living on other trees, namely the bald cypress of the area. Other epiphytes include things like Spanish mosses and orchids, like this one, the ghost orchid, and this one, the cigar orchid. However, I'm not sure if this one is actually an epiphyte or not. It might just be an orchid that lives in the swamp. Of course, there's many animals that live in the Big Cypress Swamp and the park as well, including things like our friend up here, the American alligator, as well as the less common American crocodile. There's an abundance of snakes there as well, such as harmless snakes like this one, the eastern rat snake, and the endangered eastern indigo snake. But there's also dangerous venomous snakes as well, such as this one, the eastern diamondback rattlesnake, and the eastern cottonmouth. However, of course, there's also less dangerous reptiles like this one, the Florida soft-shell turtle. There's many species of frogs and toads, such as this one, the pip frog, as well as tree frogs like the green tree frog. Other strange reptiles include things like salamanders, like this one, the two-toed amphiuma, also known as the conger eel. However, it is in fact an amphibian and not an eel, which is a fish. Allegedly, the Big Cypress Swamp is also home to a number of different cryptids, probably the most well-known one, the Florida skunk ape, the Floridian version of the Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Whether or not that's true, we're not going to get into that. You can probably guess what I think, but a lot of people do, in fact, go to Florida specifically to look for the skunk ape. Large predators that are confirmed to live in the Big Cypress Swamp are things like the endangered Florida panther, as well as the Florida black bear, a subspecies of black bear that lives mainly in Florida but also ranges up to Georgia and a couple other states. The estuaries around the Big Cypress Swamp are home to many Florida manatees, also endangered and very cute. When I was a kid, my family and I actually went and swam with manatees, and you can do that safely. The tour guide was incredible and made sure we stayed a very safe distance away, and we did not disturb the manatees at all, so that was a very fun experience. And you can also do that safely, but again, make sure you stay the maximum recommended distance away, so to leave the manatees alone and not disturb them or stress them out or cause them harm in any way. Other mammals of the Big Cypress Swamp include things like coyotes, river otters, and raccoons, as well as marsh rabbits, also known as swamp rabbits, and the Big Cypress fox squirrel, which is a subspecies of the regular fox squirrel that is pretty much exclusively found in and around the Big Cypress Swamp. Like many swamp and wetland areas, Big Cypress Swamp is also home to many types of birds, like the endangered Florida sandhill crane, as well as other wading birds like this one, the great egret, and this one, the tricolored heron. Other birds include guys like this one, the anhinga, the purple martin, and you can see here there is a male and a female in this picture, the cute little palm warbler, There's also birds of prey, including this one, the red-shouldered hawk, and the endangered Florida snail kite. There's also many different species of fish found in the Big Cypress Swamp, such as this one, the Florida spotted gar, as well as a couple other gar and catfish species. And there's smaller fish species as well, like this one, the eastern mosquito fish. Wetlands as a whole always make a great habitat for invertebrates, such as this one, the eastern lubber grasshopper. But of course, there's many more species, all the way from mosquitoes like the yellow fever mosquito, to beetles, to butterflies, and of course moth species like this one, the gaudy sphinx moth, which is one of the important pollinators of the ghost orchid that we saw earlier. And there's also a number of snail species like this one, the Florida tree snail, as well as many species of invasive apple snail, which fortunately, the populations are helped being kept in check by the Florida snail kite. Now, unfortunately, like most wetlands in the world, the Big Cypress Swamp is threatened by a number of different factors, including companies slowly encroaching on the land to make industry and agriculture and build roads and towns. Wetlands everywhere are being drained for those reasons as well, and the Big Cypress Swamp is also at risk from things like pollution and sea level rise and invasive species and all of that. Now, fortunately, like I said previously, a large part of Big Cypress Swamp is protected land and is a national park, so it is illegal to, drain that part of the swamp at least, and it is protected with all of the species in it, so that at least is very good for the species that live there. It's also a haven for endangered species like the Florida panther to kind of rest and stay away from people, and while you can go there, from what I've heard, it's not the most popular tourist destination because for some reason, people don't like swamps, which is insane because swamps are amazing. But when a lot of people hear swamp, they think gross and sticky and dangerous and full of mosquitoes, which, I mean, it kind of is, but it's also full of so many other cool species like the ghost orchids and the Florida panther and the bird species, many bird species. So there is, of course, more to swamps than just being kind of weird and kind of gross, and they are one of the most important carbon sinks in the world and most biodiverse places. Oh, I'm out of breath. I talked for a really long time. And of course they should be protected like pretty much every other wild place left on the planet.